guarantee we're going to track every single person down. But we are making efforts to let people know that program is still out here. And I think Matt was, well, who are we doing first?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, yeah. Where'd you go?
I should have said.
So I did a little update this morning just based on what responses we received. We're up to 27 responses from the original 156 that we sent out. It's been 2 weeks now that we sent that out. It was last Tuesday that we sent the letter. These are for the unoccupied or vacant lot properties. So we've had about half, not quite half, say that they're interested in, possibly pursuing the acquisition program, or that they're maybe interested in that, and that's where our outreach teams will be in contact with them and help them if they have any lingering issues that they want to work through before kind of transitioning over to JCP to help them with that acquisition program.
Did you make any comments, those responses you've had about the June 30th deadline?
No, nothing like that. Really, it's been either they seem to know what they want, either that they don't, like the other half, just no, thank you, I'm good, I have everything that I need. So yeah, it's been pretty split evenly, but not any real commentary on what's going on.
We had 27 people reply that are looking at getting on the list before June 30th to make that decision. Do they understand that if they sign up, they still can get off that program? But June 30th is the deadline, and it's really important. I guess we had 27 reply to the 100 and some. I wanted to make sure that the 100 and some know that they could just go ahead and get on the list, just in case something happens or they change their mind. But
right.
It's fine with the way.
Yeah, the way that the letter was worded was it reiterated that they're under no obligation, even if they start down that path, they can always stop. But that they can't start down the path after June 30th. So we're encouraging them to reply to us and kind of, just so that we have a database to know that they've replied in one way or another. But they're certainly able to, with the other information out in the community, to just go directly to JCP or do, whatever they need to do. We encourage them to let us know just kind of what their status is.
I want to bring up something else that I'm just a little concerned about, but I don't know if it's an issue. Okay. We have 150 people left over, and I'm 66 years old, so I think of a lot of those people down there were over 60 years old and had those residents that lived there all their lives, and I'm really concerned about their mental attitude. Even mine sometimes, I watch and go, wait a minute, getting old sucks, but I want to make sure there's not an older gentleman or lady out there living in one of these homes who still doesn't quite grasp what is going on. Is there any way we can somehow make sure that there's not one or two or three individuals out there that are elderly that still might not quite grasp it because of age? I hate to say that, but it's just, I'm just trying to think of my grandparents and what they think.
That's why I said to start, we really can't guarantee that we can get to everybody and really be sure that everybody completely understands. Remember, this is a voluntary program we've made over the course of the last 2 or 3 years. Several attempts to contacting people. There's been media about it. This was one more effort that we wanted to put forth, and you almost have to predict that on July 20th, there'll be somebody that says, well, I didn't know. And, without, it's just that question. Once you put deadlines in place, which we have to do if we're going to wind this program down while funding is still available, to actually do the acquisition, we got to do the best we can to try and get in touch with people, but we certainly can't guarantee that there won't be somebody out there who, for whatever reason, feels like they didn't have enough information or didn't know.
Okay. Well, we'll just do our best.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, and maybe, I look at that, if that happens, I think it's going to be a minority, and then we could always look at lost funding as a gap or something to help somebody in the future possibly. So I'll keep that in my mind, but that's what I look at lost words to help flood-affected victims, so we'll look at that and how it works. Justin, we've been talking about the voluntary acquisition program. So, I don't have any more questions from you.
Thank you.